Welcome to our audience of street dog advocates and supporters. I am our host, Daria Tabana, and I'm also the Director of Development at the Street Dog Coalition. So, this is a very exciting opportunity for us on the Street Dog podcast to chat with one of our clients, volunteers, gems of a person. And I'm very, very excited. And before we introduce this fabulous guest, I want to let everyone know that today's event is part of a digital storytelling journey that celebrates the profound bond between pets and individuals experiencing or at risk of homelessness. So, this is part of our Home Together campaign, which empowers our clients to share their experiences of receiving free veterinary care from the Street Dog Coalition. We're also celebrating the impact of our donors and how their support helps both ends of the leash, keeping pets and their people happy and healthy. So today we have one of our Street Dog Coalition family members, clients, volunteers, Peggy, joining us. And we're going to be really stepping into Peggy's world here, where love knows no bounds and challenges are met with unwavering strength. I'm really excited I had the opportunity to connect with Peggy via phone for just a few minutes before we recorded this episode, and it was really fantastic. I was able to kind of discover the power of Peggy's resilience as she navigates the trials and tribulations of parenthood, parenting both children and parenting her beloved pets. So we are going to dive into Peggy's story. We're going to talk a little bit about the joy of companionship and the lifeline provided by the Street Dog Coalition's clinics in moments where it seems like Peggy kind of needed the health and happiness of her pets the most. So, welcome to the podcast, Peggy.
Thank you for having me. I feel so
Woo!
honored.
Oh, I'm so happy. I know we chatted a little bit about your day, but why don't you start off by telling us like how you're doing? How are you feeling? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling wonderful. New day, new challenges and blessings. So I can't complain.
Love it. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna be channeling that good vibe throughout the rest of my day, no matter how stressful it
Aw.
might be. I love that. I love that. So why don't you tell us? I always hate phrasing this question this way because it feels like a job interview, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit, maybe about you, your pets, your family, your relationship with the Street Dog Coalition. Lay it on
Oh
us.
man. Okay, well, I'll start a little bit a background of myself. I'm in San Jose, California. Been born and raised here. I am a single mom of four children, two teenagers and two 6-year-old twins. So definitely have my work cut out for me there. I am also the lucky owner of two beautiful German shepherds. Rona is, oh my gosh, Rona's 6. Oh, and
Oh no.
Kaza is going to be 2. And then on top of that, we have 4 cats, all boys. And here's Goon, actually. He's our newest addition.
Oh, look at that. I love an all black cat. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's amazing. He
Oh,
actually, I never park in this spot in work. And one morning I was in a rush and I parked somewhere and he just came out of a bush and he like jumped on my leg literally. And I was like, oh yeah, you're going home with
oh
me.
yeah. Yeah, that cat chose you. That cat chose you
Yeah.
and chose wisely. That cat chose very wisely.
Thank you. And then we have 3 more. We have Rico, Obi, and Mando. Um, and and the street, I mean, I get a little choked up because the street dog,
Mm.
they were there when we definitely needed them the most. It was actually just me and my older 2, and unfortunately for a short period of time we experienced homelessness. um, and I had a cat with us at that time, and we actually stayed in the shelter and we kind of snuck him in. Yeah, but I needed, like, money was tight, but I still needed care for him. And that's where I kind of did my research and I came across Street Dog. And I mean, it was just amazing. I was fell in love. Um, at that point, I only had the one cat. And then, we got a little bit on our feet. We came across uh, a dog. Her name was Bella. She needed our help. We were kind of situated in a place, kind of not. I had asked the people who were staying, was like, hey, we have this dog. Is it cool if, we keep? And they said, yeah, but, you need your shots and her flea medicine and all that stuff, which is totally understandable. So then I reached back out to Street Dog and went to one of their clinics. And basically with their help and support, we were able to keep our baby Bella. So that was amazing. Then I feel like I always just come across these animals. Like they find us.
You're like Snow
We
White.
got
You're like Snow White or something. I love it.
and they've since then have not only helped us with our personal animals, but going throughout the years, I got established housing, so being homeless, fortunately for me and my children is no longer a worry. Since then I've had the twins. So we've come a long way. We're blessed to have our home now that we're in. Very hard work, but we're getting it done. Along the way, I actually came across 3 puppies who they were in a terrible situation. Street dog. They were amazing. They seen us. We went to one of their clinics. They gave, the puppies their basics. But the people, they were amazing. They found a place where I can actually take the puppies and get them. It was 2 girls and a boy. Get them spayed and neutered.
Mm.
So, that was amazing. I was able to find great homes for 2 of them, and then Kaza stayed with us.
You were just going
um,
above and beyond. It's apparent to me that, and it's funny, I was interviewing one of our other incredible clients, and it's interesting how so often we find that our clients are not only looking after their own animals, but are becoming advocates in their communities, and they are trying their best to look after animals that they stumble upon as well. So it's very obvious to me that animals are a really important part of your life and even your family dynamic. So why do you think that is?
oh, you know what? It's the comfort. It's the comfort that I hate to even just call them like animals. I feel like that word is, I don't know, like they're literally a part of our family. Like
Yeah.
they bring comfort to not just only me, but my children, which is priceless. It really is priceless. The comfort and the joy that they bring. Um, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that the what you can receive from having a pet family member, a furry family member. I call them my fur babies.
I love it.
I
Yes.
call them my fur babies. And it's just, a blessing that we get to enjoy them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's to me, I have found that so I first started off, I had a pet for a long time, and then recently I have been volunteering at a local animal shelter. I guess not recently, over the past year or so. And it's been a really eye-opening experience to go from just really loving my pet to kind of giving away love to animals that I don't sleep in bed with, to animals that I may never see again because they could get adopted right after I leave the shelter.
Mhm.
So just hearing you speak about your experience with not only the animals that you keep in your home, but also, um not real never taking for granted the small connections that you feel with animals that you end up taking care of for a brief period of time, and then, you end up finding a home for those animals. I just think that's really beautiful and, the sign of a real true animal lover. So that's awesome and very inspiring.
Oh, thank you. And honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it without the help of Street Dog. Finding them a home, but like, the cost of also one of the big things too is right, like all of our animals are either spayed or neutered is, controlling the population. And I
Yes.
feel like, getting those services from Street Dog is amazing. Because even if it's just a couple at a time, it still helps control the population of the unwanted animals, the animals who, especially with the cats, they're just out on the streets. So that's
Yeah.
amazing too. That's amazing.
And I've noticed that's such a great point, and I've noticed that sometimes in different communities, It's sometimes challenging to articulate the importance of spaying and neutering animals. Like, I have spoken with people who, they have a puppy, or a young adult animal, and they're like, I just want this animal to experience the joy of motherhood one time. And
Mhm.
and I don't know. So have you experienced that? Like, have you found yourself like debunking or demystifying like the importance to spaying and neutering animals in your community?
I feel like I do, but for lack of better words, I think it'd be kind of selfish. Like Rona, she's spayed, and like she's getting older. I'm like, man, I love her so much. I want one of her puppies, but that's just the selfishness in me, right? Because it's like, okay, I want
Yeah.
those puppies, but what would happen to all the other ones?
Right.
So that part, like, I get, but then it's for the best because there's so many. You look and it's heartbreaking. Like sometimes I have to stay off of social media, right? Because it's just so heartbreaking the amount of animals who probably started off like that. Somebody just wanting a puppy and
Exactly.
and breeding their dog, and then you have so many unwanted. It's just like the cycle never ends in that point. So even if it's just one at a time, it helps.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I'm so glad you said that. And I've had to kind of communicate that to some individuals that I know too, who are kind of um, kind of wary of spaying or neutering their animal. I kind of,
Mhm.
I try to not be judgmental, even though my first thought is like, what are you thinking? I
Yes,
try to walk them through the
exactly.
process, right? I'm like, okay, so if your dog has puppies, you keep one, what are you going to do with the other ones? And it's so funny,
Yes,
oftentimes they have that conversation with me as we're standing in an animal shelter. So I'm just like, where's the logic?
exactly.
But
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like we're totally on the same page
we
there.
are,
Uh,
we are. And I think that's why it's so crucial. I think that's why, the fact that you have the knowledge that you have and the experience that you have, I'm sure makes you a really valuable member of your community and of your home too. So can you share with us a little bit about how it felt or how it currently feels to know that the Street Dog Coalition has your back, is taking care of your animals, and is really helping you preserve the bond between you and your pets?
oh man. um, Wait, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
totally lost.
absolutely, absolutely. We're getting into the emotions. We're getting raw here. And I want to know, how does it feel to know that your pets are taken care of? How does it feel to know that you can come to a street dog coalition clinic? We can ask you what your needs are and help you and your animals meet those needs. How does that
Oh,
feel?
I feel totally supported. Like, it takes a lot to be able to care for animals the proper way, as far as making sure they have all their vaccines and their flea medicine and their heartworm medicine and all that stuff. And it could be very costly. So the fact that I know that my fur babies are taken care of the way that they should, their health is where it should be at. I mean, it's priceless. It really is priceless. And that's why when I do go to an event and we're there early, I don't mind helping setting up, because these people are literally angels. They are literally angels. The work that they do coming in on their free time, and I can only
Yeah.
imagine what goes on behind the scenes, what we don't see. But they're there, and they're there with a smile all the time. They're there with a smile and, hey, how can I help? And it's not just like a job to them. You can tell they love doing it, and they remember their clients. Oh, hey,
Oh,
I'll,
yeah.
this and that. Like, they're so friendly. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I feel very blessed, even if I only go sometimes. I feel very blessed to be a part of it and to help out any way I can. And um speaking of helping out, I have my daughter always goes with me. She's my only girl.
That's
She
right.
goes with me. And yeah, she's 15 now, but that has opened her eyes to so much. Um, so much. She loves to help. She's totally compassionate. She's like, wow, like, this is amazing. And it's also giving them the knowledge. I've taken my voice sometimes, them the knowledge of how important it is. Like, we talked about the spaying and neutering, right? Because at first my oldest son was like, mom, that's so mean. Like, but it's like when he sees like this, he's like, oh wow, okay, that makes sense. So it gives them that
Yeah.
knowledge though too, and that loving part and the appreciation, right? Knowing that, like, that there's somebody out there to help and somebody out there that cares, a whole group of people that care, and just
Oh, I love
amazing. And it
that.
makes them, it's contagious, right? It's
Yeah.
contagious. We see how amazing they are and we're like, hey, we want to be amazing too, right?
That's right. It's like our volunteers are these joyful superheroes, and I don't
You
blame
are
you. You know, I
amazing.
I feel the same way when I go to a clinic. You know, I'm certainly not a veterinarian, but every time I go to one of our clinics, I get so inspired. I like to help out however I can, even if it's just, you know, moving things around, setting things up, making our clients feel comfortable and excited to be there and feel as if they are seen and heard. And I really appreciate what you said about your kids participating and them, you know, feeling like they're not alone and like there are people in the world that care about underserved
Yeah,
populations. That's
exactly.
really beautiful.
And also them too, like knowing like, hey, like at first my daughter's like, mom, like they don't get paid to come out here. I was like, no, it's like all volunteer. She's like, wow. So that puts them in a
Oh,
perspective, if it's not volunteering, per se with animals, although I do see her doing that, but volunteering for her community and seeing that it takes volunteers to make things keep going. It's not just people who just want to get paid to do things. It's like we all gotta, work together to keep it flowing. So that's amazing. That's like a life lesson right there.
that's awesome. Because I know especially at that young age, you know, it's so easy to be tempted by like, okay, what's gonna help me make the most money? Because I want shoes,
Exactly.
I want clothes, I want to go out with my friends. So, I mean, and you know,
Mhm.
that's a different conversation on capitalism for a different day, but it's totally relatable. It makes so much sense that, you know, when we're younger, we see people that have things that we want, so we get really, you know, excited by money. So to hear that your kids are witnessing something that is equally, if not more exciting than doing something for money, right? So just doing something for love and doing something out of respect and appreciation for your community. That's where you know
Yes.
you've done something right as a mom.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Just
Thank you.
saying.
Thank
Happy
you.
belated Mother's Day to you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
You're
it.
so welcome. So my final question for you is what does the future look like for you and your family or for your involvement in the Street Dog Coalition?
Actually, you know what? My daughter was actually just talking about, she's like, Mom, we're gonna go to another clinic soon. I was like, I don't know why. She's like, because I want to ask. She actually wants to go there and ask, like, what else she can do. I think the last time she asked, she was like 14. Since then she's turned 15 and she wants to be more involved. And it's so funny you say that because I was like, you know what, let's actually look up on the website and see when's the next time they're around so you can go, maybe we don't need services, but going and seeing maybe we can help set up and, you can get a little bit more stuff, a little bit more information that you need to see what you can do to help.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome. That's
yes. And
beautiful. And
then
yeah,
so
go ahead.
yeah, that's what we have there. And we currently, like, everyone's asking like, oh, Peggy, do you have any resources? And I always, point them that way. And it's amazing. So they've not only just helped out me, but like my grandma, for example, she was able to take her dog over there when she was having a little bit of a tough time, and they gave the dog all the medicines and stuff like that. So it's
Oh, I
amazing.
love
It's really
it.
amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. We have like a multi-generational family situation happening here. That is
Yes.
so, so, so cool. And I know that you know, when your daughter, can you remind me of her name again?
Her name is Angelina.
Angelina. When Angelina
Yes.
comes to the next clinic, I just know that you know, Hillary and Andrea, who run our Bay Area clinics, they are gonna love that enthusiasm, and I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch
Mhm.
of different suggestions for ways that Angelina can get involved and deepen her love for animals and her commitment to the cause. That is so cool.
But it's like amazing as a mother, to see that, like, hey, especially like how you said at a young age. Right now, I work at the middle school, and a lot of kids are just about like getting money and how can I get the most expensive things. So,
Yeah,
and then us as parents, we try to teach our kids that, but kids don't want to hear stuff from their parents.
I
That's just the way it goes.
know.
So when they go and see it and hear it from somebody else, it's like, wow, this is amazing. But so that,
Yeah.
that is priceless for me too. So it's just not just all about, getting money and, having the nicest things. And it's also seeing people. I mean, we were in a pretty bad situation, but, appreciating that where we're at now, and never forget. basically like never forget where you came from, never forget, like be very blessed and fortunate for what, how far we've come along. So
Oh,
it's
that's
it's
awesome.
amazing.
Not me tearing up right now. Okay. Okay. This usually happens on the podcast, so that's no surprise. Well, Peggy, I have to say that while you have always found yourself lucky to have the Street Dog Coalition, I can honestly say on behalf of everyone at our organization, we are really lucky to have a client and a volunteer like you. You
Oh,
obviously absolutely. You go above and beyond to help your community, to help animals that aren't even yours in your community, and to educate, and just by educating your own family and educating your neighbors about the importance of proper pet care. I think that ripple effect is huge, and it speaks volumes about you as a person. So I'm so grateful for your time today and for your time
oh,
chatting with me before. It has been just a pleasure getting to know you. And
and
yeah,
I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for having, this opportunity. I love to be able to, share my story. It's amazing and show my appreciation. So thank you
yeah,
for having me. I appreciate
it's a
it.
win-win-win-win-win
Yes. All
situation,
the way
Peggy.
around. Everybody's
Well,
winning.
everyone is winning. Well, Peggy, thank you so much. I am going to let you go back to being super mom, super fur baby mom, super mom to teens and young twins, which
Oh,
is
yes.
the fact that you have your hair combed and you have a smile on your face and
Oh,
you're
thank you.
and you work at the school too. You are really something special. So thank you,
I
Peggy. Thank you
appreciate it.
so
And you
much.
as well. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I hope you take care, and something tells me our paths will be crossing again in the future.
I hope so.
Thank you,
All right.
Peggy.
Take
Have a
care.
great day. Adios.
You too. Bye bye.